Welcome back, students. In the very first lecture of this video series, we will discuss about crystalline solids and the concept of unit cell. Solids may be defined as the state of matter in which the atoms or molecules are arranged in such a way that their intermolecular separation remains same. Solids always have a definite shape and volume. So, the basic idea about solids which we already have, that solids are the structures which have a definite geometric pattern. But what is the range of that symmetry? It is a major question which we have to discuss. In the crystalline solids, which is a type of solid, the atoms or molecules have a very long periodic regular symmetry. It means the symmetry lasts for a very long distances. The distances here refer to the intermolecular separation range. Whereas in amorphous solids, they do not have a very long periodic regular symmetry. In the given diagrams, the left-hand sided diagram, that is of crystalline solids, in which we can see that the molecules are very well arranged in different layers, and each layer is identical to the just next layer. While in amorphous solid, which is at our right hand side, some loops are very small as indicated here. These are the loops which are very small as loop number 1, and some loops are very big, loop number 2, loop number 3 is very big. So this type of symmetry, which is unpredictable, is defined as the amorphous solid. So both are solids. We can't say that amorphous is not a part of solid, is not a type of solid, it's also a solid, but it is different from the crystalline solids in the way which is described here. Now if we compare between crystalline solids and the amorphous solids, crystalline solids have spatial regularity over a large volume, whereas amorphous solids has spatial regularity over a short range only. It means symmetry is there in both the cases, but the extent of symmetry or the spatial extent of symmetry is different. Second point, crystalline solids have sharp melting points. It is due to the reason that in crystalline solids all the atoms are equally bound due to their high order symmetry. So the binding energy of each atom is same. So each atom requires equal amount of heat or energy to melt. So they have a sharp melting point. Whereas in amorphous solids, the atoms are not so periodically, or we may say regularly arranged. So some atoms are there which are very tightly bound, and some atoms are loosely bound. So when we provide heat or energy to such solids, the atoms which are loosely bound, they change their state very easily after absorbing a very small amount of heat. and converts into liquid state, whereas the atoms which are very tightly bound, they require a huge amount of energy to melt. It is the reason the amorphous solids have variable melting point. Third point is anisotropic solids. Anisotropic solids are those which show different physical properties along different directions, whereas isotropic solids physical properties like conductivity, elasticity have same value in all directions. This is very interesting. In amorphous solid, there is randomness, and due to randomness, it is quite possible that all the atoms may affect the physical property equally. The examples of crystalline solids are rock salt, whereas the amorphous solids, the example is glass. The concept of anisotropic and isotropic solids we will discuss later with the help of 3D diagram of crystalline structure. The concept of crystal structure. Crystal structure may be defined as the atoms which are arranged in orderly periodic array. It is defined as crystal structure. If the points are imagined in space about which the atoms are located, then such points are called as lattice points. So we may define the lattice points as the imaginary points where atoms should be placed so that we may get a solid structure or crystal structure. The complete arrangement of such points, lattice points, is called crystal lattice or space lattice. Each and every space lattice is associated with an atom or group of atoms called bases. So first of all, a lattice is defined. Lattice is basically the arrangement of points only where atoms or molecules have to be arranged. The atoms which have to be arranged are defined as the bases. If we place a suitable atom or a group of atoms at each and every lattice point, the crystal structure is formed. Like in this diagram, 9 dots are there. These dots are arranged in such a way that they form a crystal lattice because all the atoms or all the crystal atoms are arranged periodically. If we place or we define a basis, which is here a group of two smileys, if we consider it a base, then we have to place each and every base at each and every crystal lattice point. Like here we may say like at first point which we have already defined as first dot, we have placed this basis at the position of first lattice point. Similarly, at the position of second lattice point, we again place the basis. So corresponding to 9 lattice points, we have placed bases at 9 different positions. It is called as crystal lattice. So crystal lattice plus basis equal to crystal structure. Crystal structure is a real geometrical structure, while the crystal lattice it is imaginary or hypothetic. The basis is the unit which makes crystal lattice modify and converts it into crystal structure. If all the atoms arranged at crystal points are identical, then such lattice is called as Bravais. We will discuss different types of Bravais lattice in our forthcoming lectures. But here we have shown that at each and every lattice point I have placed the same basis. It is a Bravais lattice. We have arranged the points in 2 dimensions. That's what it's a 2D Bravais lattice. Now the unit cell. In crystalline solids, atoms or molecules are arranged to form a repetitive pattern. Such a fundamental grouping of particles which is repeated to form a crystal structure is called a unit cell. It means in the given crystal structure, we have placed bases at different crystal lattice points. But individual bases cannot be defined as a unit cell because this single group cannot be placed randomly or each and every point to form a crystal structure. We have to define lattice points also. That's why the minimum group of lattice points and bases may form a unit cell. So in the given diagram, I have made a rectangle type structure to represent a unit cell. It is a 2D unit cell. If we repeat this unit cell again and again, then we may get a 2-dimensional crystal structure. It always has some well-defined dimensions depending on the dimension of the crystal structure. It means if we want to define the unit cell of a crystal structure of 2 dimension, then the unit cell will be 2 dimensional. Similarly, for a 3-dimensional crystal structure, the unit cell will be 3-dimensional. And the type of unit cell or the number of unit cell corresponding to a particular crystal is infinite. How is it infinite? Let us discuss. In the given diagram, number of lattice points are shown. I have considered the dots as basis also, just for the sake of simplicity. It means all the dots, circle dots, represent lattice points at which a basis is already there. In different unit cells, like in first unit cell, if I repeat this unit cell again and again, we will get the complete crystal structure. Similarly, structure number 2, if we repeat again and again this structure, we will get the crystal structure again, and so on. Number 3rd, number 4, number 5, all these structures may be defined as the unit cell of the same crystal structure. These are only some of the examples. Similarly, we may define a number of other crystal structures and their corresponding unit cell on the basis of this type. So in a unit cell, it is not compulsory that a particular crystal can contain a single unit cell. A number of unit cells are possible. I hope you have got the points clearly. Now in this assignment section, there is 3 questions. First one is, What is the difference between amorphous and crystalline solids? Second, define lattice and basis with the help of suitable diagrams. And third point, define unit cell. Draw some possible unit cell of 2D crystal structure. All the three assignment questions are based on today's lecture. I hope you have got the points clearly. Have a nice day and thanks for watching the video.